Let me ask you something. Do you bleed? 'Cause I don't wear hockey pads. I am vengeance. I am the knight. I am Batman.
Hey, everybody. It's been so long since I decided to wear this. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. And sorry about the rain, but I wanted to do this review, so, I have to make do. Anyway, you know, there's a lot of things it did, that I looked up that pretty much shocked me the first time I heard about it. Did you know that somebody is planning to make a movie about the Joker? Nah, seriously. Somebody was planning to make a DC movie about the Joker. Except this time they were thinking about Leonardo DiCaprio to play the Joker. Leo DiCaprio playing the Joker. No. I don't think Leo is good enough to play the Joker. I mean, I know he played the bad guy on Django Unchained, but him playing the clown Prince of Crime, I don't think so. And besides, after seeing what Jared Leto did on Suicide Squad, after his performance, God, I miss Heath Ledger. I really do. But this is not the topic I'm going to tell you folks today. Another thing I also heard of, that somebody is planning to do a Doctor Doom movie. I'm not kidding. They're planning to do a movie about the world's famous evil villain from the Fantastic Four. Now, one thing I have to say, Doctor Doom is my #1 favorite Marvel villain. But the biggest question of all is, why can't the Fantastic Four ever get a break? If you don't know what I'm talking about, here's what I'm going to tell you. What I have here is the first volume of the first season of the Fantastic Four. Well, the first volume of the comics. What it is the story about a 4 group of people who had decided to go up into space. You got Susan Storm, her brother Johnny Storm, Reed Richards, and Ben Grimm. No relations to me, because my last name is Grimm, and Ben, his last name is Grimm. And of course, as you can notice in this comic book issue, they were all in this rocket ship, flying up into space, and then this meteor shower shows up and affected them, so they crash landed, and they all start developing their powers. And that is the Fantastic Four. Now, of course, the meteor shower caused them to have superpowers. Reed Richards has the ability to stretch, so therefore he is called Mr. Fantastic. Johnny Storm, he can turn himself into a human fireball, so therefore he is called the Human Torch. Ben Grimm, he turns himself into a huge giant rock guy, therefore he is called the Thing. And Susan Storm, she has the ability to go invisible, so therefore she is called the Invisible Girl. And then they form themselves as a team, calling themselves the Fantastic Four. Now, this was a superhero group that the legendary comic book artist and writer Stan Lee created. I mean, somebody just walked up to Stan Lee, and Stan Lee decided, I decided to create a group of superheroes. The one who who groups up together and decided to battle against the forces of evil. And that's when the Fantastic Four was born. But of course, they don't always get along. Like sometimes Mr. Fantastic, aka Reed Richards, he always keeps on repeating the mission, and the Thing will be going like,
Hey, will you shut up? I got it already.
and of course, Johnny Storm always teased to the Thing, and he always pee him off. Like I remember in the second movie, like when Johnny Storm asked Ben Grimm, like, how are you two gonna hit it off? I mean, you, her...
None of your dang business.
Oh, okay. I just don't want to hear any news about her getting killed on a rock slide.
I'll show you rock slide.
I just like that line. Which, this is exactly what I'm going to tell you. Why can't the movies of the Fantastic Four ever get a break? Oh yeah, and Mr. Fantastic married Sue Storm, the Invisible Girl. So, now, Dr. Doom, he's my favorite character because his father was a scientist, and his mother was a witch. His mother sold her soul to Mephisto, aka the devil, and gave her chaotic magical powers. But her powers went completely out of hand, and therefore she got herself killed. So their son, Victor Von Doom, yeah, that's his name, he started developing these magical powers that his mother possessed. So he has magical abilities, so he's a sorcerer, but he also uses his intellectual science of technology from his dad. So he has a combined power of both science and magic together. Nobody ever thought of a character like that. And the reason why he wears a suit of armor is because that he was trying to create a machine that would take him into hell so he can free his mother from the underworld. And Mr. Fantastic, aka Reed Richards, tried to warn him that it's going to be a disaster, but he was too ignorant to listen, so it blew up in his face and gave him a little bit of a small scar he had. And then he went to his country. Well, before he went to his country, he also went to the Shaolin Temple and met a bunch of Shaolin monks, and they gave him this suit of armor, and it's also made of crosses, so no vampire cannot bite him. That's right, vampires cannot bite him, no matter how hard they try, because the armor is made out of the same material as the cross, so it's pretty holy. But here's another downfall he did. He wanted the monks to make him a mask so he can hide his ugly little scar he has. And after they were done making the mask, he was like,
Quickly, put it on my face! Now!
and the monks were like, wait a minute, sir, you have to wait for it to cool off. And he said,
Just do it!
so, and that there stuck there for years. That's why Dr. Doom wore this mask, to hide his grotesque face, what the mask itself did to him. And then he goes to this country where he was born in, called Latveria, and therefore he ruled it with an iron fist. Now, even though he was a ruler of that country, Latveria, he's really good with his people. I'm not kidding, he was really, really good with his people. And sometimes he does get a little egotistical because he saw what the future holds and he knows how disastrous the future's going to be. That's why he tried to conquer the entire world in order to stop whatever is going to be troubling the Earth. Although one time I did hear in the comics, he took over the world twice and gave it up because he got bored. And of course he became immortal because he went back in time and waited until he finally got into the present time. Heck, they even did one where there was a guy who thinks he's Victor Von Doom, and he wanted to get his throne back in Latveria, and he woke up in the year 2099. Look up Doom 2099. It's there. It's supposed to be Doctor Doom in the future, even though the guy claims to be Doom, but he's somebody else. But it was the 90s. Anyway, that's why Doctor Doom became my favorite villain in the Marvel Comics. It's just too bad that they didn't do him right, like what they did with the Fantastic Four and the movies. I mean, this is why all these Fantastic Four movies bombed really, really bad. Oh yeah, and one evil thing I remember that Doctor Doom has, he killed his ex-girlfriend and turned her into a leather suit of armor. So, he is evil, but not... he killed his ex-girlfriend, but he also has a good heart because he cares about his mother. One time he had help from Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme, to go to Mephisto's realm and try to free his mom. And as he finally found her, her soul was pure enough that she finally rests in peace. So there is some good inside of Doctor Doom, but most of the time he's just so egotistical. That's his problem. He always thinks more of me, and doesn't want to listen to anybody. And he also runs an army of Doombots. And every time when the hero thought they defeated him, it turns out it was a decoy, a Doombot. So that's Doctor Doom for you. And this is why I like Doctor Doom. Now let's get to the Fantastic Four story here. Now, the first movie it was made was created by the legendary B-movie director, Roger Corman. Roger Corman's Fantastic Four. This is the first Fantastic Four movie they made. And it was back in the early 90s. But since people start noticing this movie's going to be terrible, they didn't announce it. They didn't release it in theaters. So therefore you can easily find it on... You can easily download it and burn a copy of it. So... And if whoever wanted to look up Roger Corman's version of the Fantastic Four, look it up. You can find yourself a Blu-ray or a DVD, or just burn it. So, this was the first attempt of the Fantastic Four, which I have to say, it's very close to the original comics, but sadly, it didn't end well. But let's get to the other Fantastic Four movie, and believe it or not, I have a DVD of it. This version of the Fantastic Four I have on disc. But the number one reason why I talked my grandma into buying this for me, well, it's obvious. Jessica Alba. I have a huge crush on this girl, because she is so hot. Now, this is not the only movie I saw her in. I saw her in that other movie that she first starred in, Idle Hands. It was the first time I laid my eyes on her. I'm getting burned up by thinking about her. Now, honestly, her performance as Invisible Girl, she was okay. She's not bad, nor would I say good. She's like, so-so. She's okay. But who'd have thought that this actor who played Johnny Storm gonna end up playing Captain America on the Disney version of the Avengers? But I say this one was a good movie. But it became a disaster from another movie I don't have on disc. Oh yeah, one more thing I forgot to mention. I love Doctor Doom's outfit from the movie. The long green coat and the button along with the mask and the hood. That was awesome. I love this look. I wish I have a I wish I have an action figure of this one. I mean, it was so awesome. But let's get to the sequel, which became a disaster. Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Now, I do have to admit it. In this one, the Silver Surfer shows up in New York. And... I know, it stopped raining a little. Anyway... Well, it is raining a bit, but not that bad. Anyway... The Silver Surfer shows up because he started scanning the Earth. And every time when the member of the Fantastic Four tries to touch the Silver Surfer, he can switch their powers. Like Jessica Alba can stretch while Mr. Fantastic can go invisible. And the Thing can be like the Human Torch, while the Human Torch become the Thing. And the biggest disaster they done is when they showed the appearance of Galactus. I mean, he's just a huge, giant cloud with a shadowy figure of Colossus. That is not what Colossus is supposed to look like. I mean, they did good in the first movie, but in the second movie, they did Colossal all wrong. And now Dr. Doom shows up and he starts to interfere with the Silver Surfer. And the Silver Surfer, he's supposed to be a cosmic being from Galactus who jumps on this silver surfboard and surfs all the way through space and throughout the galaxy. And of course, he was supposed to be Galactus' watchdog. He was supposed to look around the planet to see which planet is good enough for Galactus to eat. Yeah, Galactus eats planets. That's his thing. He's a giant entity who eats planets, absorbs their energy and their power, and then just destroys them. And he doesn't care who lives in it. But of course, the Fantastic Four help stop him, along with Dr. Doom. I mean, I only saw clips of this movie, but I see exactly what's going on. And I thought this would be like the end of the Fantastic Four of the franchise. But not for long. Because it turns out, after the Avengers was made, and they made a new Spider-Man movie that it's part of the Avengers, Fox, yeah, it's 20th Century Fox, the same studio who does the X-Men, they struck it again by doing another one. The new and latest Fantastic Four movie. I haven't seen it because I prefer not to watch it. Because they butchered it. They butchered this movie. I mean, I heard a lot of critics talk about it. Everybody said it was awful. I mean, bad casting who looks so darn young. I mean, they got it right on the first movie. It's just a sequel of the Rise of the Silver Surfer was really bad. I mean, not that bad, but could have been worse. And now they try to make Dr. Doom become, I mean, he was once a human being until he connected himself to another world, so now Latveria is another dimension. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Hollywood always butchers the source material. This is why I have a problem with Hollywood. They always destroy everything. So one thing I have to say about Hollywood is, up yours! And now I hear that this black kid who's playing Johnny Storm is now in Black Panther. And now I hear that Disney now own the rights of 20th Century Fox. So does that mean that Disney's going to get themselves involved of making a newer and better Fantastic Four? I don't know. I mean, maybe making that Doctor Doom movie will be a start. I don't know if it's going to be canceled or not, because sometimes I hear a lot of things about new movies being made, and then the next thing I heard, they got canceled. But if they're going to do a Doctor Doom movie, Disney, please get it right. Get Fantastic Four right. And these movies, these 4 Fantastic Four movies... Fantastic Four? 4 bad movies? They're not the Fantastic Four. They're the Horrendous Four. Anyway, somebody please get it right. Somebody from Hollywood, please get it right. I mean, I'm hearing a lot of bad things happening in Hollywood, and a lot of disasters they've been making. Stick to the source material, will ya? I mean, I know that Disney did. They stick to the material. So, any of you who likes this review of the my talk about the Fantastic Four, please leave a comment down below. Hit like and subscribe, and leave some comments if you want me to review something else. If there's anything else you fans want me to review, please leave it down there, and I'll see what I can do. But right now, there's something I need to review, and there's another superhero I need to review after Easter. And boy, do I got a treat for Easter. Well, after Easter, but better late than never, right? And this superhero I'm going to review for you folks, this one is a religious one. Of course, I know I said this before on my other reviews, but believe me, this one involves a superhero who uses a Bible. Well, you know, my mask is covered with water. Well,
I gotta go bring some justice to the world. So, thank you for watching. Now we got bad blood, and look what you become. We used to be best buds, and now we got bad blood. Hey!
oh, I guess I'm not the only villain that Multi-Voice Reviewer likes. Maybe one of these days. Oh, allow me to introduce myself. I'm the Joker doll. And why so serious? Well, anyway, I think one of these days I should give Dr. Doom a call and see if he can show up, and me and him can wreak some havoc in his world. You see, madness is like gravity. All it takes is a little push.